In last week's episode, we cleared into Panama in the village of Aldea, close to the Colombian border. Our next anchorage was Puerto Perme, where we visited 2 Guna villages, which is the indigenous people that lives in this area. But eventually we just had to leave because we were getting eaten alive by no-see-ums.
We just left the anchorage and we're heading north again. Today we decided to go inside the islands. So we're in a channel between the mainland and the islands out here. The problem in this area is that the GPS coordinates on the charts are the GPS together with the charts, it's not very accurate. The position on the chart is offset by a couple of 100 meters actually, or maybe not that much, but at least 100 to 150 meters off. And when you're navigating in here, it's pretty shallow in some areas. Yesterday we even saw some unmarked reefs that were even above the water. One of them was actually exactly on where we had put one of our waypoints. So you really need to take care. So we'll just exit this channel and then the anchorage is over there. It's not very far, it's only about 8 miles to go. And again, no wind, so we're motoring. So I think this course we have now is pretty good. Over.
Keep like this.
Yeah, we better pay attention now. Over and out. Hello, my love. How is it with the flies?
Horrible. Oh, never had this much bites before. We have full. The boat is full of them. They're everywhere. I don't know where they hide, but they keep on coming more and more all the time, even if we kill them. I think we've killed at least 100 last evening.
Yeah. Hopefully the anchorage for tonight is a bit better.
Yeah, I want to go away from the mangroves.
Yeah.
That's where they live. So now we're heading to Tupac Island, the whale island. Tupac means whale in Guna language. It's over there because it looks like a whale.
Fair play just ran into a patch where it was only less than 3 meters, or it should be 10. So now we're changing course a bit and try to find the deep area again. Right now we should be at almost on land, but we're having 11 meters. So I think the offset is still there. I mean the passage in the north. I mean, you decide, but I think the area where it's shallow is shorter on the right side. Over.
Yes, correct. So I go now a bit more hammer.
So we made it through the shallow parts and now we're closing in on the Tupac Island, whale island. Inside the channel we pass by several Guna villages and people paddling their dugout canoes, ulus.
I have a bit of navigation intermezzo here.
The people are very curious and often want to come close and look at the boat and who's on it. Ah, it's hot. You're still flying. Oh, I just have 5 on my legs. Tupac means whale in Dulegaya, and the island is named after its whale-formed shape. It was a popular anchorage by the privateers in the 16th century because the island was easily identified from the sea. Sir Francis Drake was one of the privateers, and he was anchored in this bay while planning his attack on the village Nombre de Dios in 1571. Run and Fairplay were still the only boats around, and we anchored at 3.5 meters over a sandy bottom.
How's it going?
Some water in the dinghy.
It's been raining like crazy this night. Yeah, like straight for 10 hours now. So now we're moving on. We'll move and leave this anchorage. Go to a place, a village called Ustupu, because we need to get hold of some internet to upload a video.
It was a rainy start, but the rain stopped after a couple of miles. We've still had these big swells that we had along the whole coast. And no wind. So now we are following some waypoints that we put out. So Ron is going by herself with the help of the autopilot. We're approaching Ustupu, which is the largest village in the whole San Blas Islands, or the Guna Yala Islands. So we have anchored here outside Ustupu in 6 meters, and we let out around 30 meters of chain. Very calm anchorage, and Johan went to look on the engine because when we had around half a mile left, I started to hear this sound from the engine doing this sound, and yeah, let's see what it is. Did you find it?
Yeah, it's one of the spreaders. Seemed to be a leak of diesel with the fuel pipe where it sits on the one of the spreaders. And there seems to be a leak. I don't know why yet, but there's quite a lot of pressure in those fuel pipes. And that's why that sound is coming psh, 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 because the diesel is pumping out from there. So hopefully, I mean, it's nothing serious. The engine is working as it should, but probably it doesn't get the right amount of fuel in the middle cylinder. So this is the injector that's leaking. It's leaking on this side. There's a copper mantle or a sleeve that the injector goes into. And I guess the sealing between the copper and the injector is leaking, because there aren't any oil or gasoline or diesel in the coolant water, and I can't see any bubbles in the coolant water, but there's for sure compression pressure coming out on the side here when the motor is running. So it must be between the copper mantle and the injector. Yeah, the problem right now is that I don't have the parts for this, and also that this copper mantle, if the sealant from that until the gasket head or the head of the engine, if that loosens, there will be a leak from the cylinder head into the cooling channels, and that's not very good. So then I think it's better to leave it for now until we are in an area where we can get it properly fixed. I think I try to clean this area up, because as you can see over here, it's a bit rusty and a lot of dirt, but that's also because there's leaking diesel fumes out from this area now when it's leaking, so everything here has been greasy because of that. On the side here you can see I have been putting some G-Flex epoxy. That's the only type I have on the boat, but it's fairly free-flowing, so I hope, maybe that's enough to keep this seal tight until we reach further north. And the problem here is also that there's no wind. So it will be a problem without an engine here, because we've been out of wind now for almost 2 weeks, and hopefully there will be some wind in the days to come so we can move on further north where the trade winds are.
Ustupu means rabbit in Dulegaya, and on this island lives around 4,000 people. The flag of revolution was adopted by the Gunas in 1925, when Nele Kantule led the revolution against the Panamanian suppression. The flag looks quite special with a swastika, but it has nothing to do with the Nazi symbol. The swastika is an ancestral symbol in Guna Yala, called Nana Okurya, which according to one explanation symbolizes the 4 sides of the world.
Moi j'ai 2 signes, j'ai 2 parce que code.
Okay.
Now we're walking to the airport and see if we can get a signal there to use the Wi-Fi. Our mission was to buy local SIM cards so we could get internet, but the reception was too slow.
We're looking for internet, but we're out of luck. Seems like they have some problem with their cellular antennas, and the Wi-Fi, the free Wi-Fi, it's too slow for us.
It was quite far to walk to the power plant, and as it started to get dark, we turned back. "60% of the villagers are children here, and when walking around we could see many kids and adults with the genetic disease albinism.
Ils ont vu cela.
The morning after, we took the dinghy to the airport, and we had to walk and run on the runway to get to the power station where we had been told we could find internet. But there wasn't any road, so we had to walk in the water. The things you do to be able to upload a video. Here now, maybe half an hour, it's still at 0%, hasn't uploaded at all. And now the guys say we cannot stay here anymore, because if we're gonna stay here we have to have a permission from the Saila, which is the chief of the village on the island. So we have to leave. We managed to get a weather report to see the weather for the next coming days. The video doesn't work, so I guess this is the time when the cruising life to sailing to distant shores collides with modern life and being a YouTuber. Those two words doesn't really match, and today is one of those times when I get to realize it. What can you do? That's how it is.
Let's see. Let's hope there is not another plane coming. You want to take a swim, Malin?
You see my first crocodile in the real nature. I just saw something. It looked like a big log, but it was like it's moving towards the current and the wind. That cannot be a log. I was checking with the binocular. It's a crocodile. And they say there aren't supposed to be caimans here. You never know. We didn't find any internet, but instead we enjoyed the anchorage and being in this remote place of the world. Thank you for watching, and make sure to subscribe to see more videos. We'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and we hope to see you next week.